All right, hello world. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. Sleaze, apparently our man Viktor Hovland, he does not like playing in America.
Or anywhere where there's not shitloads of wind and super grainy conditions. The guy's from Norway, and I've never met a Norwegian that loves wind and Bermuda grass as much as Viktor Hovland.
Look at his 5 wins.
Yeah.
We got 2 at the Hero World Challenge, 2 at Mayakoba, and Puerto Rico.
Move the Masters to Bermuda next year, put the U.S. Open in some other tropical region.
But he put on a ball striking clinic, and he recently went to aim point in the putting because he said he's been struggling with reading greens. It worked. At one point, he one-putted like 18 of 26 holes.
He putts it good down there, and he putted from off. A lot of guys choose to use the
putter
from off the green. We were sitting there with Chappie this past weekend, and he's like, this is the home of grain. Mm-hmm. There's not a grainier place in the world, and I think that's why maybe he's so good down there. Like, his ball striking's awesome, right? The tee to green, he's about as good as you're going to find, or he's top, whatever in the world. Everyone struggles chipping down there. Mm-hmm. So it kind of just handcuffs like the great chippers. And all of a sudden, if you're not losing shots when you're missing greens, or everyone's grabbing putter and stuff like that, it's like, all right, now it just becomes a ball striking contest. And it's good.
Not many better.
Yeah, they're not many better than Viktor.
But he made it pretty interesting. It looked like he was going to run away when Scotty Scheffler made the double bogey on 9. And then Scotty got hot there. I believe he birdied 13, 14, 15. And then Viktor hitting it in the water with that second shot on 18.
I could not believe that. The 5-shot lead at the turn, I was like, okay, start nap. This thing's over, cruising. Then 18, I'm like, all right, it's a little bit dicey. Hit the shot out to the right. You could have told me he's going to hit that next ball anywhere in the world, chip out, whatever, and I would have believed it. Water was not what I was expecting. I mean, at that point when it went in the water, I was like, dude, we got to play off. This is going to be par double.
Scotty was in the middle of the fairway.
If he gets a little jittery on that next one and does something weird. I was shocked that Scotty blew it right into the little waist area and made 5.
You could hear him react, though, and we heard a lot of players do it all week. He claimed he had a mud ball there on 18.
I hated that, too. Everyone was bitch. I was like, can we not just play it up?
So they did the first 2 days.
We got 18 guys here on the weekend. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, guys are complaining already. Let's just put it in your hand. And
Saturday was a disaster. There was some crazy shit that happened. I mean, iron shots going 50 yards offline. It sucks. It's a guess. We all claim we think we know how to play a mud ball, but you don't. I mean, it's
on this other side. So just aim it over there into the shit.
Yeah,
just
aim over
and just
the
have
water.
faith that the mud will bring it back the other way. It doesn't work like that.
I just hate that, especially when you stripe it right down the middle of the fairway.
Yeah,
if you hit it in the rough,
Morikawa,
whatever.
Hit a few. I was like, okay, he's gonna hit a bad shot here and there, but I trust that guy. If that's mud, then it's mud. Guys blame bad shots on mud a lot, but I'm like, I think a lot of these are real. I just thought they should have played it up on the weekend.
I heard Ricky Barnes call a mud ball on a par 3 shot one day.
I've been calling mud ball playing ball in hand at the Rock lately too. God, off the tee. I catch a lot of mud off the tee on my ball for some reason.
Man, Viktor Hovland, I think, a lot like Colin Morikawa, in my opinion, I think is going to have a monster 2023. I just think Viktor wasn't real happy with his year this past year. He told us, like, he's been frustrated with his game. He still was 12th in the world heading into this week. I'm not sure what he moved to now, but man, his game just, if the putter stays any bit warm, the putter can get super warm. The only thing that you can really point to in his game is chipping, and he owns it more than anybody. I think he's probably too hard on himself, but it's been a lot better. And if that's just decent, like when he's on ball striking wise, he's gonna hit as many greens as anybody week in, week out. All the chipper has to do is just be decent, and he could win big. And I think that type of golf game is better suited for the big tournaments than, hey, I hit it kind of scrappy, but I chip and putt great. Like, it's hard to win it's hard to win U.S. Opens. Yeah,
like
nowadays you gotta stripe it out there, especially in the major championships. But man, it wouldn't surprise me. I just feel like he's built for a U.S. Open or an Open Championship. I mean, the harder the better for him.
100%. I think L.A. North. See how that golf course plays, but exactly right. The harder it is to get from point A to point B on the tee to on the green, the better it suits Viktor Hovland.
Well, I hope he celebrated properly, most importantly, because we're big celebratory guys, and we do it with doers. You reserve your tee time ahead of time. You plan out every hole like a mission. In golf, you're always a step ahead. But holidays, birthdays, and other occasions always seem to sneak up on you. Then you're in a rush to buy a gift. Get ahead of the game with Dewar's Scotch Whiskey. Order customized labels of personalized bottles of Dewar's 12, 15, or 18-year-old now for the people on your list. Visit Dewar's.com and get your shopping done. Get it off your plate, then spend more time playing golf. While you're on Dewar's.com, explore the entire Dewar's portfolio for a whiskey to enjoy after a round, over the holidays, or relaxing at home. And please, as always, enjoy Dewar's responsibly.
Always be responsible. Spoiler alert, a lot of the males in my family for Christmas be getting some nice tours.
Attaboy. Way to splurge.
You can't miss, though.
It's
Guys, what do they like? Golf and booze.
I like both of those things.
You can't miss with that. You get a nice bottle of booze.
And gambling. I like gambling. Responsibly, of course.
Very responsibly.
All right, well, it's time for the Doers Cheers moment of the week. And I want to give a big shout out to the Holiday Classic for having us out, put on an incredible event. We were actually fortunate enough to host the auction, the live auction, to represent the Navy SEALs, make money for their foundation, and we killed it, as usual. And I want to compliment you on being such a great salesman, because
I broke out the auctioneer voice.
You did break out the auctioneer voice. You also sold 2 tickets to Super Bowl 47.
Correct. The Roman numerals came up there, and I was like, I knew it was 57. For whatever reason, I got up there. Live is why I've learned what L means. That's the only reason why I know what an L.
That's the only
L
reason
Roman numeral. I didn't know what a fucking L Roman numeral was before that. I'm not from Rome. I'm from here. I don't write shit down in Roman numerals. I got up there. I was like, all right, 2 tickets to Super Bowl 47. Right when I started, I was like, it's 57. But I don't think anyone out here knows what the hell I know. You jumped right in. By the way, this foundation, the Seal Future Foundation, we followed up a guy. Is a guy I've gotten to know pretty well out here. He's an unbelievable dude. Listen to this dude's track record, okay? He came out, played football in college, decided I'll go to the NFL. Played a year in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins. After that, I was like, nah, I don't really think football's it. Comes out, decides to become a Navy SEAL. 10 years as a Navy SEAL, 4 tours. After he gets done with the SEALs, he's like, hey, what's next? I'll just go to Harvard Business School. The guy is like a fake Tinder profile. And he got up there and spoke right before us and talked about his whole story, his friends. If your eyes were dry, then you got a tougher heart than I do. And then we had to get up there and sell some shit. I was like, can we get like a 5-minute intermission for just everyone to cry, drink a little wine, kind of get back into it? But they're like, nope, right up to the auction. I was like, okay,
here's all the serious shit.
Here comes the grab ass bullshit. Yeah. I was like, can we get a 3-minute intermission?
He was awesome.
But that dude's awesome. That foundation is spectacular. It basically helps SEALs. They come off of these tours. They live in a different world than everybody else. How do you get acclimated back into society and be a productive member? They do a hell of a job.
It was awesome. He was great. We need to have him on an episode.
He's special,
His
dude.
story
We'll get him for sure.
Is very special. But I just wanted to compliment you on the selling Super Bowl tickets.
Comes with a time machine. Yeah. DeLorean parked right out front.
I think you go, bidding. DA, you might have played in there, but you've been hitting the head a lot. You go ahead and buy them.
Yeah, I had to take a few shots. I needed someone friendly after that.
But that was a lot of fun, man. I liked it.
That was a cool event.
We've done 2 of these live auctions, and it's always after the sad stories. And then they get up and they tell us just to be idiots.
Yeah, because it's all for charity. And I'm like, we need just a tiny little play
Everyone go get a cocktail,
one
come
song.
back.
Yeah, let's laugh a little bit before we get up there and play grab ups. Can I get a 35? What about looking for 45? My auctioneer voice was not bad, by the way. My Doers moment of the week. It's no surprise, as you may see the shirt that I'm wearing that is not new, by the way. That's
got to be freshman.
This is every bit of 10 years old plus, but it's been on my lucky shirt for a long time. I've been wearing it during games. It's got us through. My boys touched me one time.
Well, you did lose.
Doesn't matter. No harm, no foul. I don't give a damn about the conference championship. Just give my boys to the playoff. We could have won by 40 and ended up being the same seed that we are. But that was a long from the time we lost. Like, here we come. All my friends. I'm like, they're gonna pimp us. We're gonna get out of this thing. I thought we would go to 4, and then we'd have to go to Atlanta to play Georgia. Don't want to play Georgia, especially in Atlanta. And we ended up staying at 3. Now we get to play in Phoenix against Michigan. Got a lot of Michigan friends. It was a joyous moment when that 3 TCU came up on the screen, and I was like, we did it. No matter what, we did it. Little small school from Fort Worth, shocking the world. It's been a hell of a run.
I think you were much more nervous. I mean, I don't really care, but I was fairly confident, considering the way they lost, that they were going to stay at 3.
There was a time there when we were losing by 11. I was like, dude, if they put another one on us and we kind of just lay down and died, they will 100% say they got their ass kicked. And I can kind of get it, but I was
you weren't going to fall out, though.
But I just didn't want to play Georgia, to be honest.
I hear you, but I mean, you lose in overtime. You make it to the number 3 seed. I mean, Ohio State, their one loss, they didn't play for their conference championship, and they got blown out.
Yeah.
It's kind of be hard for them to move
And if they move Ohio State up to 3 or whatever, I'm like, all right, so the blueprint is just don't earn your way into your conference championship game. Get as close to the top 4 as you can. Don't play, and then wait for good teams to lose. Mm-hmm. But damn, I was still sweating balls. I still had the scar tissue from 2014. So I busted this bad boy out. Slightly snug, but if I'm going to wear it on the show, this is the week. So
hey, I'm happy for you. Boys. It's going to be a lot of fun because, like you said, Michigan people, Trent Rathbun, Mike McCann, our man over at SiriusXM. I cannot wait to hear some of the action you're going to have.
Some stuff. By the way,
2 weeks. 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 2 we that was with Trent. You tried to do the Michigan bet already with Trent with the email.
I'm trying to get.
He backed out.
I want to. It would. I don't know what it's going to take on what I'm going to have to put up on my side to get that. But if I could write an email to the entire Whisper Rock directory, composed and written by me,
Greg might kill you.
that'd be good. I don't pay my dues, anyways.
That's true. You don't.
I might come knocking for that. Anyways, shout out to my boys. It's been a fun. Whatever happens now, it's all gravy, as they say. You know what I mean? Doers will be flowing.
Doers will definitely be flowing. All right, let's get to our guest this week. Up-and-coming star in the world of golf. He's won at every level he's played at. Just finished 5th at RSM, which gets him into the Sony Open in January. Was a star at the University of Texas. Lost an epic semifinal match at the U.S. Amateur to Victor Hovland out at Pebble Beach. The kid's got it, man. I'm very excited to see what he does. But Cole Hammer joins us this week.
Yeah, I feel like we get into it. I feel like you've been hearing this name in golf since he was 15. Qualified for the U.S. Open.
Played in the U.S. Open.
15 years old. I feel like he's been around for forever. Now he's finally, getting some cracks at the PGA Tour, and he's after his first few starting to click for him. So you'll see him in Hawaii. Yeah. All
right, Sleeves. Before we get to Cole Hammer, let's talk about our favorite golf speaker, Rockform.
The boys are back. If you're a listener of this show, you know how we feel about Rockform. We think it's the best speaker in the game of golf.
Because
the magnets are incredible. The battery life is phenomenal. You forget the charger thing during a member guest, something like that. Whoopsies, guess what? The thing stays trucking throughout. Waterproof, booze proof, everything proof. Almost damn near unbreakable. You walk out of your cart carrying some stuff, drop it on the path. Thing's still thumping. In terms of bang for your buck, there's not a better speaker out there than Rockform. Period.
You want to get real wild?
Period.
Put 2 of them on there, pair them together.
That's real.
And it is incredible. Like I said, my favorite thing, I just don't think you can really replace the battery life. The fact that you can play 5-6 rounds of golf on one charge, it's a game changer because we all put it back in our bag when we finish, then we forget to charge.
I'll go home, I'm going to charge it tonight. Whoops, wake up the next morning, still in your bag. Damn it. And then you hear the little beep, low battery mode on hole 3, and you're like, damn, it's about to end. Doesn't.
Nope, Rockform, the party keeps going. All right, we got a fresh code for you. Type in SUBROCK25, that's SUBROK25 for 25% off your entire order. Go to rockform.com. Make sure you use that code SUBROCK25. Get 25% off of Rockform. All right, here's Cole Hammer on Golf Subpar.
Okay, folks, we have got one of the rising stars in the world of golf with us here today. Finished off his amateur career with a little national championship at the University of Texas, and as a pro, he's coming off a top 5 finish at the season-ending RSM Classic and has probably the best name in golf already. Cole Hammer in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Good to be here.
Good, man. Thanks for joining us. I mean, what a ride it's been for you this past several months. National championship, straight into pro golf, finishing off the season. I know Q School didn't go the way you wanted, but a T5 at RSM gets you into Sony Open in 2023. Got to be a nice little off season for you.
I tell you what, RSM made Thanksgiving tastes a lot better. That's for sure. I can't believe you just mentioned the national championship. I can't believe that was in June. I mean, it feels like 2 years ago at this point. I've just played so much golf since, but man, what a ride it's been the last few months. And I had a lull in there. I missed like 6 straight cuts on tour on sponsored exemptions, and then found gold on my last 2 in Houston and RSM. So couldn't be happier going to the off season.
Yeah, you get Sony coming up, but you got a little bit of a breather right now. What's a fellow like Cole Hammer like to do with the downtime? Are you a guy that can put the clubs away for a while and forget about it, or do you have to be out there every day?
It's funny. I was actually on the phone with Coach Fields at Texas last week, and he was like, "Are you finally going to be able to put your clubs away?" Because I always threaten to do it, and I just can't resist the temptation. I love golf too much, but I finally did it. I locked them in my travel bag and put them in a closet, and I whipped them out today for the first time since RSM. So
okay, nice.
I think
that's solid.
It was pretty solid. A little over a week, and I basically topped my first 3-wood that I hit. So there's a little rust there, but it was good rust.
Top 3-wood.
All the greats, top 3-woods.
Not an issue with topping 3-woods. If you never topped a 3-wood, you never played golf. So what have you been doing while you had the clubs tucked away? What do you do?
Well, let's see. I wish I could give you something really interesting. We spent some time with some family in Shreveport for Thanksgiving, and there were a couple days in there where I think I watched like 3 or 4 movies and just like turned my phone off and then just shut the whole world out. But I also I went to dinners with friends and had my fair share of fun over the last few days.
Gotta have a little bit
Good
of fun.
man. You earned it.
What kind of movies we talking?
We're talking everything. So my caddy Bobby Hudson played golf at Texas.
Oh, I know Bobby.
Right.
What a legend.
Yeah, he's an absolute legend. But he played right before Spieth years. And anyways, he was ragging on me for my poor movie knowledge. I hadn't seen like Meet the Parents, movies of that nature, and so he made me watch that when we were in Sea Island, and I basically cried laughing. And so I watched the sequel, Meet the Fockers. That was solid. And then I like movies like the Mission Impossible stuff, so I was getting into that.
Have you seen? Sleaze just recently watched Top Gun Maverick. He was a little late.
Just saw it, dude. I was waiting for it to come out on streaming. I can't go to theater.
It's incredible. It's absolutely,
yeah,
but you have to go to a theater. I hadn't been to a movie theater since I was like 12 years old, and I went for Top Gun because, I mean, the sound effects in there were off the charts, and you can't get that watching it on your phone with the AirPods in.
It's a great point, but serious question. Did you commit to the University of Texas at a younger age or go to your first movie?
Oh, gosh. Movie. I can
barely
solidly say movie, barely. The first movie I ever went to, I'm pretty sure, was James Bond Skyfall back in the day. So that has to be.
We're old, bud.
So fucked.
We're old.
I think I read, correct me if I'm wrong, Cole, is your first Tiger Woods memory the 2008 US Open?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
but I've been thinking about that lately. That's my first Tiger memory, but I think my first golf memory. Zach Johnson won the Masters. What year was that? Was that
2007?
2007. I remember that, and I also remember Trevor Immelman, which was 6. So yeah, I remember those. I don't remember any shots. I remember Tiger's putt at Torrey, like clear as day. But I just remember, hearing that Zach Johnson laid up on all the par fives and won the Masters.
He did.
In 2007.
I would have played with him in the 2008 Masters if I stayed amateur, and I tell him all the time, I was like, if it had been anybody but you, I probably would have stayed amateur. Like, I didn't want to play with the guy that plays the same game I do.
Could have had 2 guys laying up on
I'd laid up on a few par fours.
Yeah, shit. 3-shot par 4, number 1.
Everybody else would have watched the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, we would have been battling to see who hit first into all those greens. But take me back to the committing to the University of Texas at such a young age. What made you want to do that? I mean, was just Texas your dream school ever since you were basically born?
Well, I kind of got to remember this was like prime time, Jordan Spieth winning the national championship years. And so Texas golf was on a pedestal compared to the other programs, I would say. Alabama was up there at the time, so Stanford. I grew up in Texas. I'm from Houston, and Texas football, Texas sports were always just like, it was almost like a religion. And both my parents went to SMU, so I took a visit there. Great program. Love you, brother.
Good backup school.
Smart.
Great backup school.
It was between Texas and SMU. And at the end of the day, Austin won the battle. But I think a lot of it had to do with the history and what was happening with Texas at the time, and just knowing what Coach Fields had been able to do there. And obviously, I was lucky to be able to commit when I was 14. My parents have a video of me calling into Coach Fields to commit from my living room couch at my childhood home. And I mean, I probably, in the 2-minute phone call, I had 15 voice cracks. It was just an absolute baby. And I can't even watch the video now. I mean, it's so cringy, but
can you send it to us, please?
Yeah, can we get just a slight peek at this? We won't share it.
We won't put it as a teaser or anything.
Yeah, there might be a magic word involved there. Yeah.
That is awesome. All right, before we get back to Cole Hammer, you got to head over to the Golf.com Pro Shop. Check out the Birdie Juice merch, sleeves. I got a little tumbler right here. It's rather nice. You can get that, hats, hoodies, T-shirts. Got all kinds of stuff. All your favorites back in stock. So head over there now. Make sure you pick out some merch. No code needed. Automatically 20% off at checkout. Back to Cole Hammer.
Do you feel cheated? You guys had an unbelievable golf team, highlighted by your Natty. Do you feel cheated a little bit at Texas that you missed out on the glory years of football? Like, you probably grew up watching Vince, that era.
Yeah.
And Colt McCoy and all those dudes.
So Vince is pretty much my first sports memory. That was 05.
Mm-hmm.
We're in
which,
college.
yeah, that's just shocking. But anyways, yeah, I mean, growing up watching those guys do what they did, like Vince Young and then Colt McCoy. I mean, it basically, I mean, I thought that's what I was going to get for 4 years. And then turns out, I'm getting a 500 program. I loved everybody involved with the program, but it's just hard, being a Texas fan, everybody thinking we're back at the beginning of each season. And, lo and behold, we compete with the best teams and then lose to the worst teams in our conference. And it just, you know, Colt, we were talking about Bobby a second ago. He is like a Texas football fanatic. And so he's been culturing me on the team lately. And I mean, sometimes it can be hard to be a Texas football fan, but I guess that's the best part of it is that we have such upside, but sometimes it's hard being a fan of a team that you expect to be great and just it doesn't happen.
Well, before we started this, you were telling me you can't imagine being a Cowboy fan. It's got to be difficult. It's very similar to what you got going on in Austin.
Think of the same thing. Just put a star on the helmet instead of a horn.
It's the
same
thing.
Shit.
Yeah, that's fair. Put it this way: I'm glad I'm not from Dallas, and so I don't have to deal with that twice. Because
that's a good point.
Yeah, the guys from Dallas, like Cody Gribble and Spieth and all those guys, they're having to put up with all that nonsense. For however many games that is. Yeah.
You mentioned Colt McCoy. He's the best quarterback we got here in Arizona, by the way. We need to bench Kyler Murray's ass. Him and Russell Wilson should go hang out together.
Who's more like?
No kidding.
Do you think by their team?
Is there a C?
Colt.
Option C?
Yeah, option C.
Colt McCoy's incredible.
Colt's been doing it for 7. He's been in the league for forever too.
15 years.
Talk about a team guy too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you could rally a bunch of 5-year-olds around him. He's awesome. And Kyler, went to
is a
OU,
5-year-old.
So he's not my favorite anyway. Yeah, he is the 5-year-old that might not listen. But so I don't really like how y'all's team's being coached right now either, to be honest. But it's just kind of the way
Cliffy?
it goes. And Cliffy,
talking about Kingsbury?
My twin, Cliff.
Yeah, your twin. Hey,
Yeah.
You know what? I think you actually you might have him beat there, Colt.
He's
you've got a better
right.
Looking wise.
You've got a better beard. 100%.
Yeah, but he's got a better everything else. It's bullshit.
I don't know. I think you guys are pretty comparable, honestly.
But he doesn't
6
have to wear a
half
hat.
dozen. Yeah, true. See the top of the head a little bit more.
Yeah,
slightly more.
Anyways, next subject, guys.
Yeah, let's move on.
Are you a Texans guy then? Where's your home base? Have you decided you're gonna be in Austin, Houston, Dallas? Where are you gonna set up shop?
So I'm in Houston for the time being. I can tell you I won't be moving to Austin. I feel like I'll just be caught up in the college atmosphere if I move there. Dallas is definitely an option. I know so many guys there in Dallas, which is one of the downsides to Houston. Houston's home, but there's nobody here. I've got, maybe 5 or 6 guys that I can play with on a regular basis, and everybody's so spread out. But in Dallas, I mean, shoot, you pull up to Merida and there's 20 guys who want to play at any given moment. But I know I'm going to stay in Texas. Maybe at some point I'll move away, but Texas is where I want to be for now. I just close to home, and that's what I know. So and it's central. You can travel anywhere.
Easy, best travel. Yeah.
Dallas, that's the one thing I miss about Dallas. I miss a few things, but the travel out of Dallas was so easy. But as you mentioned, a lot like out here in Scottsdale, I mean, you can get games 4 or 5 times a week with 10 to 15 tour players. I mean, that's how you get better, is playing against guys that are every bit as good as you, or maybe even better.
Yeah, there's no question. And I don't necessarily have that where I play in Houston. So
you just slap everyone around.
Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with slapping everyone around every once in a while. It makes you feel good about yourself. But the course that I grew up on, I mean, there's not one other, competitive golfer there. So it's kind of me, myself, and I. But so I'll have to, evaluate where I'm going to be in a couple of years. I'm living at home right now. So, cutting costs where I can.
It's good rent. Mm-hmm. It's good rent. That free rent. Don't take that for granted.
Hey,
and you can always drive back to Houston if you want to whoop some ass. If you get tired of all the good games in Dallas, you don't want to drive away.
It's true. I do have a good group here that I can do that.
Taylor Montgomery's been living at home, and it's doing all right for him. I mean, he is just printing checks out there on the PGA Tour.
No kidding. That guy is finding the bottom of the hole and very quickly.
He's roll the rock.
He's doing large things right now. quickly.
I want to go back because we mentioned you committed to Texas in 8th grade. You also played in the U.S. Open at 15 years old. Okay, like I just can't imagine what that would be like. Can you remember like what you were feeling that week going there and looking down the range, being like, "My God, these are the best players in the world, and I'm out here at a major championship."
It was, I kind of describe it as a circus. The closest thing that I could relate it to was like a U.S. junior qualifier. Like when I was that young, like that's all I had to go off of. And then when I showed up at the U.S. Open, I mean, my eyes were opened and have never shut since. I mean, it was wild. One of my range sessions, I was hitting next to Rory. And obviously I idolized Rory growing up. And so just to turn around and as a 15-year-old and see Rory McIlroy hitting balls next to you and you're actually hitting balls next to him is pretty wild. And then I remember Tiger, the range at Chambers was pretty big, but Tiger didn't want to hit balls next to the rest of us. So he took his bag of balls and hit on the other side of the fairway bunker. And, me being a 15-year-old and curious, I walked over there and, hit some balls out of the fairway bunker next to Tiger just to watch him hit. And, I just soaked it all in. I mean, going in, I was a stubborn 15-year-old and thought that I could win the tournament. But then looking back on it, when I couldn't reach two of the fairways, I pretty much didn't have much of a shot. So Vegas.
What was it like?
Vegas.
Go ahead.
Do what? No, I was just
go ahead.
Going to say Vegas did well with my odds for sure.
What was it like when they announced your name on Thursday and you put the peg in the ground for the first time?
It was pretty neat. So Monday, as y'all know, is like the first day that fans can come out. And I'd never played in front of a crowd before, and I was playing a practice round with Spieth. And so I was honestly more nervous on Monday than I was teeing it up on Thursday. Because I'd kind of been exposed to the crowd and just everything that was going on. But yeah, I just remember like pulling my first tee shot into the left rough and just being thankful that I, hit it forward. And then hit a miraculous shot to like 15 feet. And I just wanted to have perfect speed on the first putt, tap in, and left it on the front lip for birdie. But it was, yeah. And then once I got that first hole under my belt, it was off to the race. I actually got off to a decent start. I was like 2 over through my first 11 holes, and I had like a 30-footer for birdie, and it horseshoe lipped out. And then after that, I just completely fell apart.
You beat Tiger by 3.
Oh,
you beat Tiger by 3 in that round, so maybe he should have been nervous hitting balls next to you in that bunker. How was your contact out of that fairway bunker standing next to Tiger Woods as a 15-year-old?
There were some good ones and there were some bad ones. When I skull one, I'd grab that next ball really quickly, put it that way. But no, it was pretty neat.
Good idea though. By the way, playing with Jordan Spieth in a practice round to kind of get comfortable. I mean, here he is coming off winning the Masters in April. I mean, he is the man in the game of golf, and here you are Monday. I mean, there had to have been thousands of people out watching him play a practice round.
There were,
and you.
Pretty, yeah, exactly. It was pretty wild, honestly. I'd never seen anything like it. And kind of in the middle of nowhere, Washington. So, yeah, that was pretty wild. But 9 holes with Spieth. I played with Gribble also. It was just a blast, and it kind of got me settled in for the rest of the week. But I mean, it feels like a dream now, so long ago. I still can't believe Spieth was, what was he, 20 when he won? 20 or 21, something
21,
like that.
21, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
21. And I swear he looks the same now. It's like he hasn't aged a day. It's unbelievable.
He's getting more hair, too.
He can afford that good medicine.
He's getting more hair. He's the only dude gaining hair as he gets older. It's unbelievable. He's Benjamin Button. How's your relationship with Jordan? Is he like your guy you go to for advice? Like before some of these starts you've been getting, do you talk to Jordan? Is he a mentor, if you want to call it that?
I mean, he's there. I don't call him or talk to him very, very much. I mean, the tour's getting younger and younger, as y'all know, and I've got some contemporaries who are out there, and so I've been able to pick their brains a little bit, like somewhat, I'm trying to think, I'm closer to Scotty than I am to Jordan, just because of the age gap. So I've been able to talk to Scotty a little more than I have Jordan. But Jordan's been great. We have the same agent, Jay Danzy at WME, and so we obviously cross over quite a bit. But yeah, no, I don't. I'm not calling him on Tuesday mornings asking him for what I should eat.
How do you chip?
Yeah. Speaking of Scotty Scheffler, I mean, you know him very well. You are close in age. What was it like for you watching him just absolutely take the PGA Tour by storm this year, win 4 times, win the Masters, and become number one player in the world?
I got chills, honestly. It was so cool watching. Obviously Scotty's had a decorated amateur career, and decorated whatever career, and he was knocking at the door for so long, and finally see him push through and win a few times was just unbelievable. I remember screaming at the TV at the Waste Management, and then the Masters was the cherry on top of everything. I mean, he was the best player in the world at the time, and there was no question about it. And the best player won the Masters, which Augusta does that a lot. The best player in the world tends to win there. So it's I was so happy for him, and his wife Meredith is great too. And so, yeah, I'm sure he's had a fun year as well.
Yeah, he's going right now. And I like going back to your U.S. Open at that age. I feel like I've been hearing your name around the amateur golf world and then college golf for forever now. Did you ever contemplate, and you had every opportunity to turn pro after 2 years or whatever at Texas? Did that ever enter your mind, or were you always a 4-year guy?
It entered my mind, but I went in wanting to be there for 4 years and wanting to get a degree and win a national championship. And honestly, I had a great freshman year, and we almost won as a team. We lost in the finals to Stanford, beat Oklahoma State, beat Oklahoma, and then just came up short in the finals. And I had such a great year that I, potentially could have had the opportunity, but it was the same year that Victor Hovland and Justin Sudd and Colin Morikawa were coming out of school. And so I figured that it probably wasn't in my best interest to do that. And on top of that, I wanted to win a national championship so bad after coming up just short. And then, my sophomore year was pretty much obliterated because of COVID. And then, so there was no reason to come out and try to play, and tour events or whatever, because the schedule was so messed up. And then the following year, I didn't play too great. And then I just wanted to come back my senior year to try to win a national championship. So it ended up being an easy decision at the end of the day.
I talked to Coach Fields yesterday, and that's one thing he kept saying was just he was committed to winning a national championship. Like, he did not want to leave Texas until he got that done. What was that like to finally, your senior year, here at Greyhawk, right down the road here in Scottsdale, to get the job done and win a national title with those guys?
That was unbelievable. I mean, the crazy thing about our team was we grew up together. I mean, I grew up 5 minutes from Travis Vick, 10 minutes from Mason Nome, and then the Cooties are from Plano, just outside of Dallas. And so we played junior golf together since we were 10 years old. And the camaraderie we had on our team, just personally, I think was different than some other teams. And we had so much fun pushing each other every day. And the junior year kind of meltdown that we had stung, because we had a pretty solid year. And then next thing you know, we're not even making it to the fourth round of stroke play. And I think that just kind of lit a fire in us, and we all pushed really hard, and we almost lost the Cuties there for a second when they broke their arms. But
okay, I wanted to ask about that because they're identical twins, okay, and they have an identical injury. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, just explain the whole injury.
So I wasn't there. I was sick, and it was the last workout of the fall. And I walked downstairs like 7:30 in the morning, and my other roommate, Will Thompson, just looked at me and goes, "Not good, dude, not good." And I look over at the sink, and Pearson's got his arm in the sink, like on ice, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my gosh, Pearson, what did you do?" And then Will starts telling me that Parker did the same thing, and I'm thinking to myself, "What do you mean he did the same thing?" And Will goes, "Well, they ran into a wall at the exact same time and hurt the exact same bone in the exact same arm." And I'm like, "There's just no way. Like, you can't make it up." It's pretty astonishing. I mean, I saw pictures of their x-rays, and I mean, the break itself was almost identical too. I mean, Pearson's was slightly worse, but something that I just, you can't explain it.
That's
It's
incredible.
like one of those voodoo dolls where you stick a pin in it and it hurts somebody. It's like if something happens to you, it happens to me. How did they get the injury though? You said they ran into the
Oh,
wall.
sorry.
Like I
Yeah,
still
so
don't know how it happened.
Relay
okay,
race, I
so
believe.
it was a relay race, and they were going one wall to the other wall, and the Cootie boys were the anchors to the relay. So obviously everybody else is kind of slowing up to slap each other's hands, but the Cooties were race to the death, and they're some of the most competitive people you've ever seen. And so that wall, they were going to break the wall before the wall broke them, but unfortunately, the wall got the best of them that time. And
The wall won.
they both put their, from what I've heard, is they both put their right arm out, and Pearson like stumbled into the wall, and so his arm looked like it went backwards, and he fell, and then Parker slammed into the wall, but he didn't trip. And then Parker looked down and saw Pearson writhing in pain, and Parker's like, no way, that can't be me. And then he went down, and it was just a whole deal that thankfully resolved itself before the national championship.
No kidding. Wow, that is just crazy.
Who won the race?
Sounds like Pearson.
Parker.
Oh, Parker did.
Oh, shit.
And he loves to tell it too.
That's even worse if you lost and got injured.
We both broke our arms, but I broke mine faster.
I won, yeah.
But I won, yeah.
I got to think the relay race is no longer a part of the Texas golf training program, I would think, after something like that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It really wasn't part of the training program to begin with, but, a bunch of 22-year-olds coming up with, relay races at 6:30 in the morning probably isn't the smartest thing in the world.
No, but I mean, you've been on a winning national championship at Texas. You've been on 2 winning Walker Cup teams. Obviously, team golf is very important, and you're very, very good at. What's the bigger thrill for you, winning a Walker Cup or national championship?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to go with the national championship. You spend so much time with those guys. Walker Cup's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong. It's like the coolest golf experience I've ever had. There's no question about that. I just think that winning a national championship with guys that we play golf, but I'm going to say blood, sweat, and tears that you shared that with. Like it's just different. I don't know. 3 years to 4 years of hard work goes into winning a national championship, and it's really a week to win the Walker Cup. So, but there's nothing like hearing your name called, representing the USA, Cole Hammer, and then lifting that trophy. Now, I think the Walker Cup celebration might have been more fun than the national championship, simply because we got back to Austin so late that night. There was really not much to do, but yeah, I'd go national championship.
And you got Stuart Hagestad who can buy beer.
It's a good point.
That's cool. It's nice to have an old guy on the team. By the way, he told me to mention you're welcome for letting you get the clinching point at Seminole. He said he'll know what I'm talking about. He said did you a favor by closing this guy out so early.
He texted me about that literally 2 days ago, and he almost be on the same wavelength or something. But he, I forget, it was, USGA posted something, and he was like, "Don't ever forget that, your big brother let you have that one." And
I beat my guy so bad for you.
I dirt napped my guy so quick. I let you drag yours out till 17 so you could be the guy.
Which is funny because his match was still, he was smoking his guy. He was like probably 6 up, but he didn't win until he was on 16. The guy snuck a few back on him, and so I won before he did, but I'll let him have it. He can run off into the sunset.
He will.
And he'll buy beer. Yeah.
One thing, obviously, a very popular topic in the game of golf this year has been LIV. A couple young guys, Eugenia Chikara, a couple others have decided to make that jump. Have you had any communication with them? Have there been ever any thoughts of you possibly going over and playing LIV?
For me, no. I was never contacted, nor would I have taken a meeting, honestly. I'm on team PGA Tour. There's no question. I want to compete to win big tournaments and have a legacy. And I just feel like that's not a possibility on LIV. And I understand why some guys have gone. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great opportunity for some of the guys at the tail end of their career and whatnot. At some point, I think there's going to have to be a little bit of overlap between the PGA Tour and LIV, just because golf is such a cohesive sport, and there's a massive divide in our game right now, and I honestly hate to see that, because there's guys on the Live Tour who, you know, like a Cameron Smith or a Joaquin Neiman, who are superstars, and I personally would love to play against those guys at some point, just because you to be the best, you got to beat the best, and I still think that there's great players out there on Live. But I'm fully focused on the PGA Tour, and that hasn't been an issue for me.
I like that.
Cole, do you think the PGA, like you finished in the top 5 at PGA Tour U, so then you got starts on the Korn Ferry Tour right out of there. Now they're making it so a guy that's on the top could go straight to the PGA Tour. Do you think this deters any of these guys from possibly taking a look at Live going forward, the top guys that are coming out, knowing that they have immediate starts on the Korn Ferry at least and potentially PGA Tour?
There's no question about it. Liv would have to do something, drastic to get those guys away from that PGA Tour U program. I mean, when I was a sophomore in college, and if somebody came up to me and told me there was a PGA Tour card on the line if you finished number 1 in your class your senior year, I stayed already, but there'd be no question in my mind that I would stay, and I'd do it 100 times over. It's just it's way too good of an opportunity to pass up. I think the PGA Tour is really smart to do this, to combat, I don't know if it's directly correlated with Live or whatnot, but I think it's a great program that will definitely induce a lot of guys to stay.
That's going to be a lot of fun if two guys are like really, really close coming down that final
and
stretch.
There's one card.
And there's one PGA Tour card on the line. I mean, my God. A national championship is one thing, but a PGA Tour card, whoo, boy.
Yeah, what if you need par on the last?
That'll be fun to watch.
To win the Natty, but a birdie gets you your tour card. Like, I'm going to go for it.
Well, that's what they've done, too, is they've made the national championship like a higher rated event. And so it has, double the amount of points as everything else. So even this year, I finished 5th. And it came right down to like, one of the last few putts. It's going to be a nail biter, and I'm excited to watch it. It'll be good TV.
How's the jump been, Cole? Like, I mean, you came right off the national championship, started playing Korn Ferry events. Now you finished top 30 in your last 2 PGA Tour events, Houston, and then the 5th at the RSM. How's the jump been? Like, you've been around these guys for so long, I got to imagine like the awe factor for you is pretty minimal.
Yeah, I would say the awe factor was pretty almost non-existent when I turned, just because I was fortunate enough to play in a bunch of majors or a bunch. I played in 4 majors as an AM, and I think that really calmed my nerves. But I think there was a jump in terms of just the competition and the way that tournament. I think PGA Tour events or just professional golf events in general with the 2-day cut are just so different than amateur golf, because amateur golf, you've got 3 rounds for the most part, and you even if you have a bad first day, you can almost still win the tournament. But on the PGA Tour, if you have a terrible first round, I mean, you basically calling United Airlines. And unfortunately, I had to do that like 6 times this summer. I played a few good tournaments on the Korn Ferry Tour, but the PGA Tour, I was batting 0. So I think that was a little bit of a learning curve, just realizing that I do have what it takes, and I don't have to shoot 59 every time I go out there. I was just putting so much pressure on myself to go out there and win, that as soon as I'd make a bogey, I'd just spiral. And then I finally took a deep breath this fall and realized that I was good enough to play out there, and got in a rhythm.
Yeah, you seem to be getting very comfortable, getting better each start, and you get another chance at Sony Open coming up here in about 5 or 6 weeks, which will be a great golf course for you, one that you could go play really well at. Sleaze, I think it's time to get to the E9.
Let's go, Cole. You
All
ready?
right, you ready?
You ready, Mr. Hammer?
Always ready for
E9.
God, imagine being called Mr. Hammer. Unbelievable. That's the best. All right. Yeah, go.
All right, we ask this to everyone. You can be anyone, dead or alive, for a day. You get to live in their shoes for a day, walk in their shoes for a day. Who's it going to be?
Babe Ruth.
Oh, interesting.
Hit dingers.
If you would have said Mickey Mantle, I might have started laughing because of that letter that came out recently, but Babe Ruth. Very interesting.
Babe Ruth. Yeah, the great Bambino. It's just like watching Sandlot growing up, and then just knowing all the history behind the Yankees and what Babe Ruth did for the sport of baseball. Baseball is like my favorite sport to watch. I played it growing up until I hurt my elbow and had to switch over to golf. But yeah, Babe Ruth would be someone
relay race.
Yeah, relay race. I think we could.
Yeah, that gets a lot of great players.
I heard you like break down pitchers' throwing motion and everything, like the release patterns.
I mean, shoot, I can do it all. Colt, come on.
That's impressive. That's impressive. Can you bang on a trash can or anything?
Yeah,
like
no
that?
wonder you're in Houston, dude. No wonder they're winning all the shit.
I mean, shoot, it takes one to know one, right? I mean, I just hate the stigma around the Astros right now. It's brutal, but I'm glad we've vindicated ourselves this year. That was pretty special.
That's helpful to wipe the stank off that last one. We'll get to some more baseball questions here. All right, here's one for your fellow Longhorns. Assume these three guys I'm about to mention were all on a game of Jeopardy. I need you to rank where they're going to finish in order. You got Jordan Spieth, Scotty Scheffler, Bo Hostler. Winner second, last.
In terms of their golf game, or in terms of
no Jeopardy, dude, just brains.
Oh, brains. Oh, okay. Well, I feel like Bo would be really sneaky good at that. He's got some interesting little quirks that make him really smart. I'm gonna go Bo first, Scotty, and then Jordan.
Yes.
Wow. I would have gone Bo, Jordan, Scotty, but okay.
Oh, my God. Do you feel like Bo's an underachiever for taking all the way to age 17 to play in the U.S. Open? What a loser.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he was 2 years behind the curve. I mean,
he looked 35, though.
He was like a 35-year-old with braces. By the way, we love Bo. Have you seen his suede jacket?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a killer suede jacket, dude.
He was
wearing
wearing
here on Golf Subpar.
Oh, did he? He was wearing a great little Tito's vodka little beanie that covered his ears in Sea Island. He was the star of the show, and he was loving it too, walking around, and he knew it looked good.
He's such a beauty. Other than the cat thing, which is weird, but different conversation. All right.
Yeah, he likes
Jordan
cats.
last. That's interesting.
Wow, Jordan.
Not gonna like that.
He likes cats.
Yeah, Bo has
dude.
cats.
He has
it's weird.
cats everywhere.
We can't figure it out.
Okay, see, I did not know that. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah,
keep your distance.
All right, next one. You and the Cootie twins, Parker and Pearson, were known as the Three Amigos, according to Coach Fields. Okay, but you are out of the equation. Those two are on the 18th hole, Greyhawk. Your life is on the line. You get to pick one of them to play, and they have to make par, or you're dead.
God, we're just throwing people under the bus.
You have to make par, they're dead. You taking Parker or Pearson?
At Greyhawk?
18 at Greyhawk. I don't know why. I just picked that hole. It's hard.
So I got to pick one. I can't take like certain parts of their games and say this is what I want.
You pick one. If you make par, you're alive. If you make bogey, you're dead.
Yeah, dude. High stakes.
Gosh, this is brutal.
You're going to have no friends after this.
I am going to have no friends after this. I'm going to tell both of them sorry in advance, but I probably Pearson. I think Pearson's got a little killer in him, and I think
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, Parker can do it too. Don't get me wrong, but
nope. Grab some bench, Parker.
Nope,
you're
Parker,
out.
you are sidelined, Parts. Go get in the race game. God, we're losing friends. We don't normally do it like this, but I'll give you one here. It doesn't involve throwing any of your friends under the bus. Which athletic accomplishment is more legitimate in your mind? The Astros World Series in 2017 or Patrick Reed's bunker shot out of the sand at the Hero in 2019?
Okay, I'm going to say the Astros World Series because you still got to hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but if you tee a ball up in the bunker, there's about 50% of the golfing population that can hit that. So,
fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They both cheated, let's
answer.
be honest.
I'm not saying they didn't. Cheating's cheating.
All right, next one. When do you think Texas will officially be back?
I'm going to give it – if we had another year on top of next year in the Big 12, I think we would be back.
Next year.
So, no. Yeah, in like 2 years, I think if we were still in the Big 12, we would be back simply because –
But you're not.
Well,
is Quinn gonna leave now that Arch is coming in? You got a whole scandal on your hands now.
I've heard that Arch is 100% redshirting his freshman year. So apparently, his family wants him to learn the system and whatnot. So if that's the case, I don't think Quinn's going anywhere. We might lose Hudson Card to somewhere else, but if we can keep what we have intact. I mean, we're losing Bijan Robinson, who's like, the best running back in college football. Obviously biased, but he's pretty unbelievable. And so that's gonna be rough. But I think we're gonna need a couple years in the SEC to really find our footing.
Side question.
Go.
Side question. Whose recruiting trip was better, yours or Arch Manning's?
I know which one they spent more money on, but I can guarantee you I had more fun than you did.
Oh, I like hearing that.
And Arch took all the way to like 17 or 18 to commit. Indecisive bump. You got to pick at 13.
Yeah, I was planning my visit since I was 14. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. It was great.
God, that's probably a great town to take an OV to. Can we backtrack? Can we break the news that Arch Manning is redshirting? Is that official news? We're gonna run with that anyways, regardless of what you say. But
we can run with that here. But you didn't hear it from me.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
well,
our
we
little
did.
secret.
Well, we did.
It's our little secret.
Well, you did.
Sleaze,
Yeah.
Cool.
Sleaze, what's up, Drew Stoltz?
According to me, throw me out there. No one cares if you report fake stuff anymore.
That one reporter last week.
Go hop on Horns. Go hop on Horns 247, and I think you might see a few little gossip.
Oh, the rumblings have already started.
I mean, you can say anything nowadays. That one reporter last week was saying Lane Kiffin was 100% going to Auburn, and he got on there and he goes, "No, I'm not," and he just signed an extension with Ole Miss.
No, it's the beauty of our world today.
Guy's
Dude,
taking
just make up anything.
That guy's taking some heat right now. He might lose his journalist job.
Lane Kiffin's clapback was great.
Yeah, he got him.
Yeah, it was good.
He got him. It's all long con. It's always looking for.
He's been good at that. He clapped Jimbo pretty hard this year too. That was great.
Yeah, he's not afraid to stir up some shit. Old Lane.
No, he's not.
I like
whatsoever.
him. All right, I'll give you just a little. The birdies, our boots on the ground reported that I need you to confirm or deny this, that you were the most sought after recruit for all the fraternities at UT. But you did not commit. I heard a lot of Greek letters wanted you to be a part of them.
Yeah, I interviewed them all, and none of them made the cut. Honestly, it just I had to spread the love.
Wow. Texas
I'm
fresh.
I wish that was the case. We weren't allowed to pledge, but I went to a high school with 150 people, and 45 of them went to Texas out of the 150. Oh. So I had and pretty much all of them did Greek life, and they spread out a little bit. So I had my fair share of chances to go to the different fraternities and see what they're all about. But it was very frowned upon to tie yourself down to one of the fraternities, unfortunately.
Yeah, stay a free agent. About best sorority at Texas.
Oh
gosh,
I like them all.
Well, my girlfriend's a Pi Phi.
You should probably say that one.
Yeah, it feels like the right one.
I can't. I mean, I'd love to make her mad. I think I'm going to. I'm gonna say Theta. Theta is pretty darn good at Texas. I know Pi Phi. It's like at Texas. It's like Pi Phi, Kappa, Theta. They kind of go by PKT, and then Zeta. They've got their own vibe for sure. But I'm going Theta today. Changes.
So to piss her off, you don't go with this. You don't go with number 2 in line. You go with number 3 just to really piss her off.
Yeah,
perfect.
They're on the pedestal, but they're not even close to
I like that. I like that.
That's the skank. That's the skank sorority.
Just got to keep her on her toes.
Oh, that's awesome. Sharp. That's sharp. That's a smart move.
All right, we've already played in 3 U.S. Opens. We're just gonna look ahead and say you win one. What's the first thing you're filling the U.S. Open trophy up with?
Well, let's see. I want to go back deep to what I started with. So let's say I'm a simple Coors Light guy, and I'm throwing that in there. I know that's probably
I knew it, dude.
I know that's probably a frowned upon answer, but that's what I'm rolling with. It's hard.
I'm okay with it. That was our guess.
It's hard to hate, easy to drink, and I guess when you win the U.S. Open, you're not worried about it, but it's pretty cheap to fill it up.
And you can put a lot of them in there. And also, our dumb friend Gary Woodland didn't realize that the top screws off. He was drinking out of the bottom of it. So when you win it, just remember, you can screw the top of the lid off and pour it in the actual trophy.
Interesting. Well,
Gary is not.
I might have been in Gary's shoes.
Nah, you'd have figured it out.
I want to be very clear about that.
Gary used to take from Chuck Cook, so he spent a lot of time in Austin. And I played with him at the Open at St. George's, and yeah, Chuck sent him on a little goose chase around Austin once, and it was quite the story.
Gary has had lessons from 97 of the top 100 coaches in the world. He's worked with everyone.
So, I mean, he needs the 98. He needs you, right?
He's going to get there. He's going to get there. He can't afford me.
He needs this. He needs one of these guys. He's seeing the wrong kind of doctors. He don't need a swing doctor. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can get in there with Gary's brain and fix what all's going on in there. It's a dark place.
Next question.
That guy.
Okay, this is more of a request. Okay. This is more of a request, Cole, than it is a question. But can you please just confirm on the show right now that you will be partnering with Adam Long in the Zurich Championship, thus creating the greatest team name of all time, Team Long Hammer. Do it for the people, bud. We need this.
Where's the handshake?
Cole will be down there on the grounds. We got Long Hammer.
Yep. I mean, I would love to be y'all in contention down there. Who's first place?
Long Hammer's deep into this thing right now.
You could also go
Alex Hammer with the approach. Should work out well.
Oh my God, it'd be the best.
Or you could go with Alex Smalley, little Smalley Hammer.
Smalley Hammer. You go the opposite way with it. It's not as good for your rep.
I'd withdraw. You can't do that.
Can't do Smalley. Long Hammer. I will broker this for you tonight if you just give me the nod.
First off, no one else wants to play with Adam Long, so there's a great opportunity for you.
There's a little stretch. You could do Hoagie Hammer. That doesn't really work, but try.
Almost like Hog, yeah.
Almost.
Hog Hammer. I like the Long Hammer.
Long Hammer, dude. You go down in history. What a great option, though. Just there's no bad team names with your name. No. Anyways,
we're all focused on the PIP nowadays. I mean, might
vault you into the top 20 immediately.
Top 100, yeah, at least.
Are you kidding me? You get on that leaderboard at the top, Team Long. That will live in every meme for the history of life. That's worth at least $5 million. So, anyways, think about it and let me know, and it's done deal.
Perfect, will do.
All right, last one. Would you rather get a Boomer Sooner tattoo or have cheese smothered over every meal the rest of your life?
No.
What is this cheese hate?
I don't understand the cheese hate.
So I think that I could learn to like cheese. I am not under any circumstance putting a Boomer Sooner tattoo anywhere on my body. I mean, might as well just end it right there. I mean, I just can't do it. My body, I would physically, my skin would react to it 100%.
So is it like you don't like the taste of cheese, or you just don't eat it because it's not that good for you?
I don't like the taste. Now, it's weird though. I like pizza. I like queso. And I know, and a cheeseburger.
Queso means cheese in Spanish.
So
I don't know.
Hot cheese I like. Cold cheese I can't do. So like cheese on a sub, I'm out. Like overloaded.
But a burrito, you're in?
Yes, burrito, I'm in.
That's very strange.
It's weird.
Okay. All right,
it's weird. I tried to eat like a little cheese cube not too long ago. I was peer pressured into doing it and almost didn't make it through. Still better than an OU tattoo.
Yeah, that's a tough one to bounce back from.
Well, more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, meet one half of the 2023 Zurich Classic champions, Long Hammer.
Long Hammer, bud. Let's do this thing. Let's bring it home. Let's give the people what they want. That's PIP money. I think Jay would be on board with this, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think so, too. Put him on the phone right now. This is a done deal.
Yeah, we're idea guys.
Awesome.
I'm going to call him right now.
Cole,
you're awesome, dude. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, what a blast. Let's do it again sometime. Thanks, boys.
All right, well, that was Cole Hammer joining us on Golf Subpar. So, ladies, I'm very excited for the Zurich Classic this year.
If he doesn't do it, dude, I laid it up there on a silver platter for him. Adam Long's one call away. I'm sure he would not be disappointed.
It's not like people are begging to play with Adam.
Not be disappointed to play with Cole Hammer, and I just think the world of golf just
Long Hammer.
Hey, babe, who's winning? Long Hammer. Long Hammer's way out in front. They're strong right now. They're stiffening up.
I love it, man. I hope they do it. That would be incredible. But, he's already played in 3 U.S. Opens. First one when he was 15 years old, which is, I can't imagine being 15 and hitting balls next to Tiger and Rory McIlroy and trying to play in a major championship. He's young, so he doesn't have a sophisticated palate yet. We'll get him on the doors at some point, but no surprise, he's just going to put a little cold beer in the trophy when he wins it.
Yeah, of course. Boots, cowboy hat type of guy. That's a cold beer type of dude. I thought the the Open at Chambers Bay, where he's like, everyone wants to see Tiger, especially as a kid. Like, he's on your wall growing up and stuff like that. I don't know that I would be dropping a small bucket in a fairway bunker, though, to hit next to Tig. I'd have probably been like, give me the old sand wedge. Flick a few out there. If all I want to do is watch Tiger Woods, I'm probably not putting myself in a position to lay sod over it and hit it up. But it doesn't matter. But 15, dude, we thought Bo Hostler was unbelievable, and he was, because he was leading the damn thing. But at 17, cats. And then he got cats, and obviously everything went downhill. But 15 years old, I mean, dude, you're a baby in high school, and you're out there. He's, like I said, he's been around for a long time, and now he's getting, he's going to be on this pro level for a long time. He's a couple good, if he could parlay the Sony Open into another two, like, there's special temporary membership sitting there for him.
Yeah, he needs it because he had a rough go at Q School where he didn't get very good status on the Korn Ferry Tour. But I'm not worried. Maybe a little slow start in his career, but I expect him to do big things.
He missed the 8 guaranteed by a shot.
Ugh, puke.
I mean, just that's a tough deal. But he's going to get some starts out there. Don't worry. And he might not, if things go well at Sony, he might not need him.
It was a lot of fun, man. The kid's got a lot of personality.
Yeah.
We get some of the young kids on, they're a little shy. Cole's not. He's
been getting interviews since he was 15,
sure.
So he ain't no rook.
But a lot of fun talking to Cole Hammer. And Sleaze, you and I, we love nice things. But we would also
of course
like a good deal even more, probably. We don't like to spend all that money. And Penn Golf was started by a few recent college grads back in 2018 when they couldn't justify spending $400 or more on the latest rangefinder. They knew it was necessary to take their game to the next level, but couldn't pull the trigger on something that expensive. Their Prism model is one of the sleekest, most accurate, and affordable rangefinders I've ever used. It's got all the bells and whistles a serious golfer needs. Slope, built-in magnet, vibration, HD screen, and best of all, it's USB-C rechargeable, and one charge lasts 60 rounds. I mean, put your rock form and your Penn Golf together.
You don't even need electricity anymore.
Incredible. It also comes in 6 different colors and was named by Golf Magazine as the most fashion-forward rangefinder in golf. They've extended their biggest sale of the year just for Subpar listeners, where you can get $150 off and get the Prism model for only $179.99. So head to PINNED Golf.com and use code Subpar to get yourself a brand new rangefinder today for only $179.99.
What I say earlier, holidays coming up. What do guys like? Golf and booze.
Drinking
and golfing. And maybe firing a little bit while you're out there. Got you covered. Sleazen's greetings. Load up. Take care of your people.
All right, well, Sleaze, it's getting into bowl season now. You got a little break. You got to stretch.
Thank God, by the way. My heart can't handle anymore.
It can't. We failed you on football last week.
We did, and we
both
apologized.
loved USC.
We apologize. I was very surprised. I didn't know Caleb was going to
he got hurt.
Blow out his hammy or whatever he did, but I was still surprised by that.
Yep. But good news
lost
is,
a lot.
We did give you Victor Hovland. It was 14-1.
True. More than makes up for it. More than makes up for it.
All right, so not a whole lot going on. We got the QBE, but we're going to stay away from that. We're just going to focus on football. We're going to take our favorite NFL game this week.
Perfect.
And I hate both of these teams. So
perfect.
I don't. They both can't lose.
Tie?
Our wonderful producer Mark, big Giants fan. They got their hands full this week. The Philadelphia Eagles, as much as it pains me to admit, are freaking good, man. Jalen Hurts, if he's not the front runner for MVP, I don't know what we're doing. The man just absolutely dominates, whether it's on the ground or through the air. He is killing it. He's way better than I thought he would ever be. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites at the New York Football Giants, coming off an incredible tie against the Washington Commanders.
Off the tie in which all I needed was 1 point to be scored in overtime for the over to hit. How about that little beauty?
Yeah, the old 40
overtime. Perfect. This thing's over.
Just another stupid rule in the NFL.
Scored. Tying. It's the worst. That was terrible.
Hey, play 70 minutes and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just add a 1 to the end of your record at the end. Okay, cool. It's an $80 billion industry. How about we play till somebody wins the damn game? Anyways, I need 1 more point in that game. That's a good one. Eagles are... I didn't see it coming, but
some people might
they are flying. Their wings are spread. I'm going to go.
But I will say, I got to give a shout out to my Dallas Cowboys. Hung 54 on the Indianapolis Colts.
That was an over also, buddy boy.
That one hit the over.
That over cashed.
I like where things are going. Odell Beckham Jr. is in town right now visiting.
Do you mess it up, though? Everything?
Listen.
Fire. Like, how many more points are you going to score?
If he is,
I don't know.
I watch all these shows. If he is anywhere close to what we're used to seeing Odell Beckham be, I don't know how you don't take him. It's just another weapon.
Shows up, doesn't get the ball as much as he likes, and all that sort of thing. The energy starts getting weird. I'm just saying, when you got a good thing going,
you got Odell Beckham, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Tony Pollard coming out of the back catching passes. Like who you want to stop? Who are you going to try to stop?
I'll tell you what he should do. Get on a plane, go to Denver. Come be a part of that
No, he wants to be in the playoffs.
Which gets me to my pick, which is two teams I hate right now, Colt. The Denver Broncos are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, Denver put up a big 9 this past week. We got 3 field goals on the board. We got 3 field goals on the board. Should be enough to win. Defense gave up 10. What are they doing? Idiots. I'm going under 43.5 because guess what? We can't fucking score a point at all, ever. Russell Wilson has, I read on Twitter, and Twitter's right all the time, that they compared the Denver Bronco offense to some individual, I can't remember who it was, 14 TDs to 14 TDs. Yeah, quarter bill.
They don't have it, bud.
So that's more than one a game. I was like, I can't remember a game other than the Raiders where we put more than a couple tubbies on the board.
Who's more pissed off about spending $240 million, the Arizona Cardinals or the Denver Broncos right now?
Oh, us. At least Kyler gives them a freaking prayer.
That's fair.
People might not like him, but Russell's not really well liked, and he doesn't score.
Speaking of everything that is true on Twitter, the Steph Curry video.
Not real.
I sent it to you.
I got it from like 4 different people in like a 30-minute stretch. I was like, guys, there's these... You see things like this come out on Twitter sometime where it's just some outrageous, crazy, like a football throw or what. Like remember when Brady was throwing it into the jug machine backwards and it was getting stuck in the jug? I was like, look, they can do. It's funny though because Steph is the only dude on planet Earth where people are like
believable.
That might be real.
But the way it was going, like you could actually see the ball the whole way. Yeah. You could see the ball that he made before bouncing.
It's crazy how they
do that
stuff.
If this is real, this is the greatest athletic achievement I've ever seen.
And Steph's the only dude on planet Earth where you immediately, like, you'd watch it again and be like, is that real?
I just love the way he was just hucking it.
Like hooks from full court. Just splashing. Yeah, that one made its rounds.
Real quick before we go.
Yeah.
If you ever are in the market for new health insurance, and you go online to look at it, do not give them your phone number because for the past 3 days, I've had 97 phone calls.
No, I would never.
I do not like them.
Put any of that.
I might have to change my number because of this.
Health insurance. You ever had a drink? Nope. You ever thought about drinking? Smoke? Never.
How many drinks do you have a week? Why do you ask such personal questions?
Eat? Only vegetables. Strictly just lie about everything.
All right. That's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you on next week's Golf Subpar.